finals match.
Here we go. Team Draft LA.
Murs at Karlov Manor season.
MKM season finals. Infinite Revenge versus Stonecutters. All right, we got players looking at 7, and we are officially underway here.
Do you know who won the die roll?
I missed it. Not sure. Looks like Jake might have won and is keeping. Yes.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
Play.
Both players keep.
Not a turn 1 Mask Maker, but there's a Forest. There's a Hedge Maze. Get a Surveil. Nice little addition to your Abzan deck, just to have a nice little Abzan control deck. Little Surveil. Throw away a Snarling Gorehound.
Reveals the Gorehound.
There is that detective.
Ooh, here we go. Yeah. Couldn't ask for a much better start on the,
at this point,
play here.
Yeah, we're going to be able to fix our hand and get in some damage.
Yep.
Yeah, and this is a card where I think, from Jake's side, you always are just, no matter, even if you have a hand of all spells, you're always just like discarding a card to get the damage if you can.
Of course, yeah.
Planes from Brian. Little Mirrodin in there, and there's a Market Watch Phantom.
Another one of those premium white 2-drops.
Yeah,
but it's not going to do anything to get in the way of this season
will
detective
not be on
here.
blocking duty anytime soon.
That detective, the 3 toughness on it, makes it relevant for much longer than you would expect.
This is like, again,
especially when it's backed up by tricks and removal and such.
I'm seeing the power level of this card. Where I've played with this card before, but I think in the draft when I was thinking about this over the Hellion, there wasn't a lot of 2-drops I think at that point in Jake's deck, and this is like a card that can really just fix your hand super well. That's like an insane sequencing.
Is that the Sharp-Eyed Rookie?
Sharp-Eyed Rookie, yeah.
Yeah, usually.
Shock to a Sharp-Eyed Rookie.
Usually you'd want to play that first, though, right? It might have just
drawn
it.
Later on. Yeah.
He did see 2 new cards this
because
turn.
you would get a clue off the detective, so I'm sure that was yeah. So Brian under some serious pressure on it's only turn 3.
It's exactly the spot Jake wants to be in, and Brian just says go.
Pass, wow.
Okay.
So
is there like a slice, maybe?
I think he does have a slice in his deck. So maybe we're waiting for. But then I don't think he has a slice because he would just slice the rookie right away, or at least with a creature on the stack, maybe. Right?
Maybe, not necessarily.
Yeah, you don't have to, but at least give Jake the option to have a pump spell or something.
Yeah.
Because. Because Jake does have a mirror alibi in his pool. All right, so we're attacking just with. We're just.
No, it's both.
Oh,
the rookie has vigilance. Yeah.
Throwing away that informant.
Makes sense. A little bit clunky at this point. Don't have the double red to flip it.
I assume there's another play. And also, there's not a trigger. You're not going to get a trigger off the Sharp-Eyed Rookie because there's no black mana in this deck to actually cast the card.
So there was no creature played before combat to grow the rookie. So I would have to imagine that this is going to be like a disguised creature.
I would assume so. Or maybe holding up Airtype Ally.
Ooh, that could be good too. But there is the disguise,
Yeah, maybe represent Airtight Alibi in combat.
Sure.
And then play your disguise later on because you're not going to get a trigger off it anyway.
See if Brian fires anything off.
Yeah, because
end of turn here.
Yeah, this is like the aggression that like Infinite Revenge definitely wants to start their first couple of turns off, right?
So far, Brian has played a Grizzly Bear, and Jake has played 5 spells. So
yeah. There's a second main phase Fanatic Scapegoat.
Also interesting.
Like this is actually interesting. Like, is this a game where can we even deadly cover up and will it matter? I mean, it obviously will be the way that Brian gets
It
out
looks
of
like-
this. But how does Brian?
There's a good chance we'll make it to turn 5 here, but you are
Oh,
still
for course, yeah,
missing second black, first of all.
Yes. The other thing is we're missing second black and we would need 2 lands, one being a swamp for
Yep.
the deadly, and then we need another plains for the Tulsa. Like those are the 2 ways I think to really,
Sure. Yeah.
without a turn 3 play. I mean, he has to do something significant this turn.
And I wouldn't even feel comfortable with just Tulsamir on this board, you know. There's just
So much that can go
such
wrong.
a good chance, yeah. So many things can go wrong.
I mean, so this disguised creature could be a Hellion. It could be
Mm-hmm.
a Greenbelt Rampager.
Radical, yeah.
Well, I think this probably isn't a Greenbelt because I think you just play that as a 4/4.
Oh, you think? Okay.
I think so. Because you'd have to get 3 more lands.
Yeah, yeah,
Also,
you're right.
and
You're
you
nowhere
you get a
close.
trigger off
Yeah.
the rookie.
That's true.
So I
yeah.
think it's either a Hellion or a Defender at Large is my guess.
Okay. Offender at large would be a beating for sure. He also has, is it the Golgari 3/3
Yes,
Death
that's
Toucher?
right. He has
as
a
well?
rakish scoundrel.
Yeah, yeah.
Which flips up for
6, I
yeah.
believe, yeah. Give something indestructible.
I mean, right now we're looking at an attack of what? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? That'd be half of Brian's current life total.
And Brian, once again, went land pass. That is Plains number 2, it looks like.
So
But I would still think that you would have to have some kind of play here.
I think it's not the worst if Jake, for example, Jake has 2 cards in hand. So Jake just attacks, Brian goes to 7 and passes, and Brian goes swamp, deadly, cover up. And then I think there's room there to like take the things back
Yeah,
in
of
Brian's
course.
control for sure. But I think again it's going to come down to like Tulsamir or.
I wonder if Brian's not playing anything might be a tell that he has the Wrath in hand.
Yeah,
And that
could be,
he's
could be.
he's just saying, I'm willing to take the damage and save my creatures from my own wrath.
Right, because then you'll have follow-up plays to your wrath.
Yep.
To match Jake's follow-ups after he wraths. Yeah.
Looks like Jake has options here with
Yeah,
2 cards in hand and a
I was trying to
disguise.
remember what like flash creatures are in the set, if any.
For on Brian's side.
That Brian could have. What is he playing around? I mean,
Not many.
is he wondering maybe about playing a creature pre-combat for the rookie to get a clue to counter?
I would have to think that he at least wants to do that.
Yeah.
But no, we're just going to go straight to
We're gonna
combat.
get into the red zone here with everything
Not
but the detective. Okay.
I guess he doesn't want to discard his last card here.
I think maybe the discussion was like, do we discard a card to the rookie? Or maybe the land. I would
he must have something he wants to do with 5 mana then.
which is
right?
the Defender at Large is 5.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yep.
So I would. That's my guess.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Good read. So it's going to be 7, 8, 10 damage.
5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. Assuming that Brian has nothing.
Passing
Like,
priority.
Sold his hand real fast and see if there's anything he wants to do here. Jake is
Going
now,
to 4.
Yeah. So like now, Jake is face up. Like if Brian has a wrath here, it's like that.
Not sure. And there it is indeed. Deadly
right.
cover up.
With no, not surveil. The keyword.
Oh, the
Collect
evidence collection?
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Again, like this is his way out, but Jake's
So
gonna tap.
So Jake must have
5
liked
mana?
he liked his last card. It's just a 5/5.
There's a 5/5.
But that is a lethal threat.
Yeah.
So let's see if Brian needs another
Brian has
answer
like
here.
6 cards in hand with 5 lands. He has to have something. Like
5/5 is pretty big against
no, no.
Esper, though.
It is. It's huge. I'm wondering if like Brian is in a chump blocking situation.
I was about to say
Or
extract would be pretty nice here.
Or we could
but-
just cast
oh,
the second best card in the deck,
Okay,
or
yeah.
the other best card in the deck in Tulsimir.
Rare
and
Wrath
put-
into Rare Bomb, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so...
So this is kind of what we were expecting, right? You know,
Yeah.
Gruul comes out swinging and then
This
has
is
to find a
exactly
way to
what we
close
talked
out.
about, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like Jake went 2-drop, third turn 2-drop, shock your creature, turn 3-drop, 1-drop.
Turn 5
Or, yeah, it does turn 4, turn 5,
for flip up.
deal extra couple damage,
Yep.
damage.
Used almost every ounce of mana available to him this game.
I mean, I think he made that right move on that turn 5 of putting his mana into the more.
Yeah, rather than committing
the
more
board,
to the board. Yeah. But it looks like there is no clear
Yeah.
play here.
It was players on Infinite Revenge just asked Jake how's it going. He's like, it's a little weird now because he's won like Wrath into Tulsim here. So it looks
Voya
like
is a
Jake-
token and
Jake-
does not go to the
I
graveyard.
mean, this is interesting. Jake attacked with the Vengeful Creeper to trade off with the Voja, but now the Tulsimir has a free way to get in for life every turn.
Yep.
I don't know if I would have made that attack.
Well, the thing is, Tulsimir can force him to block the Voya anyway, so he might as well
I
do
see.
it on his turn
I
while
see.
Brian's
so
tapped
he's
out.
in the game 3 life.
So
regardless.
yeah.
I mean, do you think that if you say that Jake just passed with mana open, are you still making that attack then? Maybe Jake can be a
Probably,
trick,
yeah.
you
I think you have no choice, really. Yeah.
Okay. There's
Yeah,
a
pretty clear that Jake just drew a land there on the previous turn.
yeah. Yeah, it's pretty.
And I think that was the key draw there. I think he needed to put
Yeah.
a Hellion down or
I mean,
something.
Like so, from Brian's perspective, like he played one card before turn 5.
Yeah.
This game. So definitely representing some of the more powerful cards that he had access to. I mean,
I'm
there's
guessing
a red herring.
I'm guessing we passed through combat
yes.
here.
A second main phase red herring. So it could be on blocking duty, block the Tulsimir, draw a card, not negate 3 life. Yeah, this is the thing now where with this matchup is once Stonecutters can gain life through various means, it puts a lot of pressure on Infinite Revenge to find extra ways to punch in damage when the board gets very cluttered.
Yep. I assume Jake is just going to try and block Tulsimir here.
Yeah, to negate 3 life.
No,
and draw a
Brian
card.
doesn't even want to throw him away like that.
Yeah.
Interesting that Jake didn't sack the fish there.
Probably would because you have to sacrifice it. You're gonna have to attack with it.
Yeah. I think I would have tried to draw something else there.
I think my plan would be maybe draw a sequence of Rift Burst Hellion land. I mean, I don't know what else he's
Yeah.
hoping for at this point,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, gonna go get a land and a clue here.
This is rough. Like you're just committing your whole turn to
Yep.
ramping, making a clue, and then drawing a card. So Jake just pretty much just taking this turn off.
Yep.
While Brian's going to be able to get in another 3 damage and also, more importantly, 3 more
And
life.
lifelink,
Yep,
yeah.
the 3 more life. Because this really puts Brian out of range of pretty much a lot of Jake's deck. So I think it's going to be very hard for Jake to really couple together
Yeah.
a board that's going to get in 10 points of damage. You know.
He is going to be able to see a couple more cards before his next draw step.
Mhm.
Yeah, between this and the red herring.
Yeah, we're going to crack the clue.
So there might be some combination he can string together here.
Yeah.
To yeah, just blocking with the consultant, of course. I mean, no reason to take action now. They just bounce.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep, just passing back to Brian.
Going to
We're
combat,
going to
swinging
with
for 3.
Tulsimir, 6-point life swing, and yeah, I think it's going to be very hard for Jake
Yep.
to get back in this game. I mean, what sequence of cards can we possibly
It
have?
would need to be like performer into
the Pyrotechnics performer
a bunch of
into-
disguises. Yeah.
and so like even performer into Rift Burst Hellion wouldn't do it.
All right. What has Brian got here? Oh, is that the interrogators?
Yep. 5/6 make a clue token.
Ooh, and Jake still didn't sack the red herring. here.
Fish.
Interesting.
I mean, I think I would have done that. Because now you have to use mana on your turn.
Yep.
Because the fish will meet its demise either by getting sacrificed or into this investigator.
Yeah, I don't think now that there's a 6 toughness creature on the other side, I don't think there's any combat tricks that will allow the red herring to profitably attack here.
Something interesting too from the Infinite Revenge team is I don't think there's any like trample tricks that we saw from Jake's deck because there's fanatical strengths in
Yeah.
their third teammate's deck. Not Lucas.
Aaron?
Aaron, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so he has double fanatical strength in his deck.
Okay.
But I don't think there's. I think Jake has a Felonious Rage. I know that we saw in the draft.
And an airtight alibi.
And the Airtight Outlaw, yeah. So we have like these kind of value tricks, but not like a lot of ways to punch damage besides the Pyrotechnics performer. Yeah, I think this is
It looks like he might have been saving the red herring to trigger the crime novelist here.
I guess so. I think I would maybe try and look for again. I don't know what outs we're
Making
playing to.
making it a 2/4 might stop.
I guess that stops the Tulsa
the Tulsa Mirror, yeah.
probably attacking anymore. Yeah, I think at this point in the game, I'm trying to remember what ways we could deal more damage. Like the Greenbelt Rampagers are like ways to
Radical, yeah.
Greenbelt Radical, the Pyrotechnics, but yeah, the window if it's not closed already is closing very fast.
And a Pompous Gadabout is the second spell of the turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a wild draft. I don't know. I wasn't seeing like a ton of power.
I mean, I think all Brian really needs to do is just hang out. He doesn't like-
There are 4 people.
Yeah, he
I don't know about.
the advantage bar is firmly swung the opposite direction at this point here.
Yeah. We're talking about
Let's-
like Deadly Cover Up or Tulsa Mirror. Which one will like be better for Brian to have? And he had both back to back.
Yep.
after Jake's like 5 spell start.
Which, yeah,
That's one of the rules, right?
tough run out for Jake, I think, having just kind of a dream curve out and running into rare.
That's
You know?
again that'll be I think the interesting part about this draft is like we saw that's one of the best case scenarios from Jake's deck.
Yeah.
And it took one card from Brian's like to demolish that plan. I guess 2, but obviously the Tulsa Mirror was like the best case scenario for the Vengeful Creeper.
Yep.
But we've just seen how quickly this game has swung into Brian's favor. It's an attack for 6 there from the 5/6 and the 1.
No, it was 8 because Tulsa Mirror was attacking as well.
Yeah, it got blocked
Traded
by
off.
the So Brian should be at 13 then. Game 3 life.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I'm also curious if Brian has enough ways to. It will not come up in this draft. I'm willing to bet, but the poison kill with the
Sure.
5. We can make 5 clues. I don't know if we can. I don't think I saw enough clue makers because I think there's like a bunch of auspicious arrivals in David's deck.
Yeah.
But I'm very doubtful that'll come up.
With 5 mana remaining, my read is on Offender at large number 2 here.
Was there a second one?
I believe so, yeah. And we've got a slicer
on a rip. Yeah,
on
definitely on
one
a rip.
step.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's paying enough mana to cover
Cover
something big here, yeah.
Well, yeah. So it's what for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we're just,
Oh, it was the performer.
okay.
So he's going to take 3.
Yep.
But
Not that. Now the
I believe
window
you're just
is
and then he's just
extremely
okay.
closed.
Game 1 going to Brian there
Yep.
after saying go 4 turns in a row.
Yeah. It's interesting, like, when you have less cards available to you, how much time do you have to capitalize with like, an aggressive deck, right?
Yep.
Obviously, we saw a more extreme example in this first game where there was a Wrath into a Bomb Rare that had lifelink.
Yep.
That put 2 bodies in play one of the games that has lifelink, which shuts off a bunch of Jake's plans for the late game with Pyrotechnic Performer.
Oh, looks like we do have the Frantic Scapegoat this time on turn
We
1.
got a 1/1 Hasty Menace Goat in play.
Certainly a good start to a curve here.
I mean, this or Gobble Massmaker is where you want to be, right? Plans and pass from Brian.
Looks like we got a 2-drop as well. Performer.
Ooh, Performer on 2.
And he wants to suspect.
That's going to get Menace. And there's not going to be a real fast way for Brian to, I think, deal with that Pyrotechnic Performer now, because Extracted Confession is pretty dead right now with that Scapegoat in play.
Yep.
And at least this turn he can't slice from the shadows the Performer. So,
That's right. Still, though, the Performer being sort of a high priority target, I think I would have preferred to leave the Suspect as the Scapegoat itself.
I think if Jake didn't really have a stronger 2-drop to play here, now he could just start pushing through a lot of damage
Okay.
with the Performer. Hopefully, I mean,
I guess, yeah, if Brian had played like the Phantom or a 2/2 or something like that, then
Right,
he
he
wouldn't have
couldn't-
been able to attack. So
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
So it just seems like Jake's going to ride as much damage as possible off this Performer while he can.
What's Eugene playing?
Jake hits land 3, and looks like he's got plays. Brian's going to be taking at least 3 here. I would guess this is just a disguise or something.
Yeah. I mean, this will be...
Oh, no. Oh, it's Krenko.
Okay.
Even better.
So...
Coming in for
talking
6.
about fast starts,
Yeah.
this might be a much better. This is a much better one than we saw in game 1.
A hasty 3/3 would have been a huge benefit in the last game. I
we
think.
saw a rare from Jake's side on turn 3 both games, and this game played well in turn 2.
This is rare to rare on Jake's side,
This is
so
rare to rare.
right
And then
back
game
at
1,
ya.
He played the Sharp Biter Key on turn 2, or turn 3 with the shock. So again, similar to last game, Brian is under the gun already on turn 3, facing a lot of damage. Because currently this is it's a lot of damage. Should be at 12 or 13, because he took 3 from the Performer twice.
Yep. 3, 6, 9. Wait, 3.
Once.
No,
he
just once.
He took one from the goat initially, right?
3, 6,
19.
7. No, I think he took 2 from the goat because it has haste, right? Yeah. Turn 1 goat, turn 2 goat,
You're right. So he
and then
has
turn
12, yeah.
3, the 6, the
Yep.
2, 3 powers. Yeah.
So there's a disguised creature from Brian. Do you remember what we saw from Brian's deck in terms of disguise? There's a lot of Sanguine Saviors.
Yeah, that would be
their
my
team.
that would be my read.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, here's an attack with both creatures. Will Brian double block that Performer? Get off the table. As it stands on the board,
I'm curious.
It's a profitable block.
I'm curious if you need to block Krenko here. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, do you think just to get the Krenko off the table before it gets can get out of hand? Or
The
just,
Performer, is you need a lot more mana to make the Performer sort of do its thing. Krenko sort of represents, going wider and taller.
Yeah, the Performer I was thinking about if Brian just wants the Menace creature off the board, so he doesn't have to deal with that on later turns.
For sure.
If
Yeah.
Jake has a trick or some removal spell or something.
But I think a trick or removal spell here is just gonna be devastating.
I mean,
either way.
that's what Jake is definitely representing. So if this is airtight Alibi, for example, it'll make his Performer a 5/4, which will be
kill
fantastic,
both.
which will keep his creature alive and kill both of his.
Yep.
Well,
But it looks like the trade's going to happen, so Brian will just take 3 here.
Yep, down to 9.
And it was a defenestrated phantom face down.
Right. So what's Jake's follow-up then? Another disguised creature?
Another disguise and no land, it looks like, yeah.
No 4th land, okay. So the closer we get... Oh, Brian played a swap, but immediately took it back. We're in game number 2 with Brian up 1. All right, there's a push to take care of the Krenko. And another 2, and a market, watch Phantom. That's it. Nice sequence to try and take Jake off.
Yeah, that was a nice nice bit of tempo advantage there.
Yep.
2 mana to kill and play a 2-drop afterwards. Probably need at least 1 more turn like that, though.
So here's a Goblin Maskmaker and then a Tunnel Tipster, which aren't the most exciting creatures to add to the
That's
board,
true,
for sure.
yeah. Still no 4th land either. Jake kind of does need a lot of mana. His deck is pretty mana hungry.
No,
with
it
all the
is.
expensive
I think
disguises.
The reason why to get all the damage he can off the disguised creatures, right? In the face of like Brian's like pretty strong removal and threats.
Otherwise, the advantage you get from playing big creatures is nullified by 2 mana 2/2s.
So if Jake does get his 4th land, what disguised creatures could he have here to flip up? I guess the Rakdos one, the 4/2.
Well, he also has the with the Tunnel Tipster being.
Oh, sorry. With the Tunnel Tipster. Yeah,
being with the 5th mana. Yeah.
He can flip up a Offender at Large.
Offender at Large and the Rakdos one, whatever that's called.
Shady Informant.
Thank you. Yeah. Steel Trap. This guy's mind.
Are there multiple Informant cards in this set? I feel like there are.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
get them all confused.
I think there are a few consultants and a few
Convicted, like
a bunch of investigators, right?
deadly,
inspectors.
Deadly something.
There's a bunch of inspectors.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's the biggest one.
So I think on Brian's side, what he's consulting with Eugene right now is, based on the cards in his hand, can he make some profitable blocks next turn? Because I mean, on Jake's side, besides the disguised creature, all he has is a 1/1, a 1/2, and another 1/1 play, with only 2 cards in hand.
Yeah, it could be a good time to use up a little more life as a resource. That's assuming that Jake attacks with everything, of course.
If he can't flip up the disguised creature next turn, Brian, I think, is in a decent position. It's pretty bad if it's an Offender at Large, but... So Brian's going to add a disguised creature of his own to the field.
It's like Brian's got some custom disguised creature or mysterious creature frames here.
for this like Game Boy Pikachu Magic the Gathering type sleeve.
I love the style that these teams have brought to the table here
I think
today.
we definitely hit this year. Definitely with some of the more artistically creative teams. All right, okay, we're just going to add a green belt
Face up Radical
Rampager
here.
to the Radical to the board. And
Interesting.
if you're gonna cast that, there's no other play you're making this turn.
Yeah.
Did we also miss? Remind me. Was the turn that we played the Tipster was after we played the disguised creature, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It was Maskmaker Tipster last turn.
Tipster. Yeah, last turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
And it looks like
There's
Brian just
hand number system
passed.
pass. Yeah.
Obviously representing some kind of flip up here.
Clip up here with a disguised creature, a trigger removal spell. I mean, both players.
Yeah, I think playing the face down Radical was a consideration, but considering that he's missed the last 2 land drops, he just wasn't going to get to 7 anytime soon. So I think playing a 4/4 there is fun.
I think so too. I think also, I'm guessing from Jake's side, he wants to start making some attacks. So maybe it's a higher upside.
What makes you think that?
Oh yeah, yeah. 'Cause based on his opponent having a wrap and tells me to play. But I think playing the 4/4 sets him up for a better attack this
Yeah,
turn.
yeah, I agree.
If the disguise is an offender at large, if he has some sort of combat trick in his hand that he's been banking on.
He's
but-
got another radical in the deck as well, too.
Yes, he has two.
Yeah.
That could be what's under the
Sure.
the disguise creature on his side. We just need it. We should get a table spotter to just like see the. I would go ask what the disguise creatures are. I just like don't want anyone to like accidentally flip it up or something.
Yeah, yeah. No, what we need is we need 2 more people with iPads on either side of the table writing down what's in the hand.
Having
and
the
everything.
hand spotters. One day we'll get to that level of commentary. For that, we'll have budget for that.
I got green finally. Next turn.
So Brian is at 9. Looks like we're gonna get
And
into
Jake is
combat
gearing
here.
up. Just the radical coming in here.
Yeah, I think this is probably the safest.
Okay,
attack.
so what blocks the radical here?
So if
Oh, it's a
Brian-
double block.
Yeah, if Brian double blocks, he's gonna have to make some move here, right? Because that's a 2-2 and a 1-3.
Yeah, which is, I mean, as long as Jake has some sort of response, that's kind of where you want to be in the
I mean-
situation, right? Okay, yeah, we're
6
tapping
mana?
out Ally Assailant, so
Ally
that's going to
Assailant, okay.
drain for 3.
Just gonna give Brian some life and then trade 1 for 1 with that radical. I guess it's what's gonna happen there. All right,
Yep.
no tricks. Just
I think
yield 9 mana 3/3.
I think even if you did have a trick there, you're just using it to kill a seasoned consultant, which is
Yeah,
probably
which is
not vital. So,
no,
yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I think Jake is fine. He traded 4 mana for 9 mana.
Yeah, totally. Got lots of
But again-
big stuff coming up, I'm sure.
Yeah, now
I respect it. I respect it.
Crime novelist. It's again looking a little
Yeah, I'm like-
looking a little anemic in this deck.
you're
here.
right. I'm like, I feel like it's funny that like Jake has 3 more creatures than Brian is up on life, and Brian's just like chilling behind this 2/2 and 1/3.
Yeah. I would be thrilled if I were Brian that flip up worked
Yeah,
out the way it did.
I don't think either player is really under the gun in any way. I think there's more pressure on Brian to not get got by like an offender at large, a Hellion, right? Because for example, say that this guy's creature is a Hellion and Jake draws a 6 land, then it's a different game.
Yes, of course.
A radically different game. But if this guy's creature is maybe like the green belt radical, the second one, then he has like some time, or I think Brian's under pressure, but not as much pressure as he could be.
Of course, yeah.
So
Of course, on the other side of the table, though, Jake is in, I think, one of the most enviable positions to be in, where land is probably your best draw, and
or spell.
any spell is also a great draw.
Assuming
so,
that
yeah.
assuming that he needs the land for it, if that's like a green belt or a Hellion, yeah, I see that. His worst draw would probably just be like the second Mask Maker.
Yeah.
And even Felonious Rage here is like totally acceptable.
Totally fine,
I think.
yeah.
Depending on obviously what Brian plays this turn.
Yeah.
But we're in the tank a bit. I mean, Brian does have 3 cards in hand.
It's a little bit stalled. It's not great though. It's stalled, you know.
Yeah.
Was he just considering blowing up here?
Oh, so this.
Looks like he's just attacking.
This just feels like if he's going to combat, there is definitely
This feels like Wrath.
a definitely
Yeah.
tough rep in his head.
Yep.
This is.
You always block here, right? I mean,
I would definitely block.
you
here.
always block here. I think.
I would definitely block here.
This would be a pretty insane bluff, I think.
I think so too. I mean, unless it's like what Tulsimir, right? I guess. Yeah, I think the smartest block, yes, is double blocking the Marker Watch Phantom, and then putting like the disguise in front of the 1/3. Like, what's Brian's plan? I mean, maybe you could do okay, or even just not even blocking the 1/3 is fine.
All right. Well, you put like a mask maker on the 1/3 or whatever. And
Yeah. I think what they're thinking of is Mask Maker or the Scapegoat and the crime novelist on the
yeah.
Phantom.
I would just put the big butts
Yeah,
in front.
the Scapegoat and probably the
Yeah.
the 1/3 on the 2/2 and then a 1/2 on the 1/3. Yeah, we were talking about that Alex, where he just does. I don't think he has enough clues
Yeah.
to really make it work.
Yeah, probably just the 23rd card.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what else is in Jake's sideboard that might be better.
Honestly, maybe a land if he's not already running 18. That would probably be.
This block just seems kind of comical to me.
Yeah.
I don't think we. We're trading this.
Wow. So Brian actually gets 2 damage through
Gets you damage through
before
which
he
I think.
wraths here. Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
Ooh, the Hellion
What's the
gone.
Hellion?
Wow.
Yeah, with the land, so now a land Dexter is terrible.
It's a big hit. And he's going to collect evidence here. So you can actually choose something
If he
on the
chooses,
board
if
as
he
well.
chooses the Green Mill Radical, he has 2 options. That makes sense.
going to choose Tunnel Tipster.
Ah,
That's
okay.
the choice. Ooh, it is another Radical in hand.
Oh, so he would have gone that if he had chosen the Radical.
Okay. Once again,
I think I
though,
would have gone for either like Hellion or Radical, just based on like those are, or just any like any of the not like 1 power
yeah,
creatures.
especially against the player with
That's doing
not many cards in hand.
Well, that's like
you
doing
know,
the
like-
disguise things, right?
Yeah.
Like you might. I think that there were. I don't know. There were 2 Hellions in the draft. I don't know where the second one ended up. If it's not on their side of the team, the Hellion makes sense. But I don't know. I can't remember if they saw if Stonecutters saw the Radical at all, because I think wasn't one a first pick for Jake. I think in Pack 3.
Oh,
I think Pack 3 picked 1.
I think one was pretty early in Pack 1 as well. Yeah.
I think Pack 3, a Radical was either a first or second pick
Okay.
from Jake. I think it was the first pick from Jake, so he would not know about the second one.
Sure.
And I wonder if the Hellion ended up on Stonecutter sides. Maybe that's why he was like, okay,
Wait,
I
this-
won't pick Hellion because I
this-
think there's only one. We only saw one.
This Phantom is gone too, right? Or, I don't know.
Yeah, that Phantom is on. It's on a long trip
not
to the
phased
graveyard. Yeah, it's on a long trip to the
There we go.
graveyard. But at least for Ryan, he gets a lot of information there of like what Jake could have, but maybe his other disguised creatures are left. Obviously, he knows about the Radical now, and there is just a forest and a pass.
So does Jake just have to run out another 4/4 here?
Absolutely, yeah. Just dive for a 4/4. 3-turn clock. Nothing else you can do.
In theory.
You cannot. You cannot disguise here. You have to just, I think, put on the pressure as much as possible. Yep. Untap from Brian.
Not that long ago that a 4-mana 4/4 would be a real Magic card. You know?
I think it's still fine. Obviously, nowhere near as it used to be, but it's going to get
getting
stonewalled
blanked
by this
by,
5/6.
Yeah.
I mean, the Felonious range would get through, and with this disguised creature, it either has to be the Offender Large or the Shading Format.
Creatures, which is exactly what I needed.
If it'd be really great if it's either of them, right? Because like you mentioned earlier, the Offender Large can get through 6 toughness. Yep. And so can the Shading Format. You can flip it up and deal 4 and 2.
Doesn't look like I have a great way to count poison here on my
I
score
would
tracker.
be shocked if it comes to that.
But Jake should be at 2 poison now, though. Just for
For posterity's sake, yeah, sure.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
At least from what I'm hearing from the match, it looks like from David's side, his match versus Lucas, Ezra has entered the battlefield. Another one of Stonecutter's best cards.
which one did?
Ezra on
Yeah,
David's side.
yeah. Oh. Pretty gross. It definitely inspires a reaction whenever an opponent plays it.
When I played my match with Dandelion Revolution against Infinite Revenge last week for funsies.
Yeah.
They opened 2 Ezrams on their side of the table.
Jeesh. Ugh. Gross.
Or no, I lied. There were 2 Ezrams in the draft.
Yeah.
And we got one, they got one, but we had to pass them an Alquist Prof because there was a pack
Yeah.
that had Ezra and Prof.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And they also had an Aurelia and a Ferox. Axebane Ferox.
So I noticed that Jake left up double mountain last turn. What? But he didn't. But he didn't undisguise. So
No.
what does he have that? Oh, okay. It's coming in.
Is this, I think, now in a format?
It's got to be a shady informant.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just going to trade.
Attempt to. Yeah.
Dead and ping, and it trades. Okay.
Here's an interesting question. Would you have attacked with. Oh, never mind.
No, I don't think you can.
No, no,
Yeah, I don't think you can attack with
No.
the radical there unless you have a trick.
Yeah. Unless you 100% have a trick, now you can.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking that the informant deals damage when it flips up. It's when it dies.
Okay,
Oh,
we're going
and
one
now
for one
there's a-
again with this Undercity Eliminator, but that's Brian's win condition. I think it's just he's happy to go one for one
Yeah.
until he
at this
gets
point in
fully
the game,
stabilized.
The taking out as much of the big threats as possible is, I think, important.
Ooh,
It's
okay.
not a big threat.
This was a nice draw.
Yep.
Something that will dig you deeper. Maybe give you another double spell turn down the line.
And now this is, again, another 3-turn clock that Jake has presented for Brian.
Well, you need to string together some clues to turn it into a real.
Oh, I mean, with
3-turn clock.
with the matchmaker in play.
But that's. Oh yeah, sure. But I,
mean,
also
yeah,
wouldn't count on that.
Oh, sure,
One
yeah.
damage consistently every turn.
Yeah, I mean, Brian's getting low on cards. He's used his Wrath and his 5/6 in Defense Rate Phantom. He's running out of some of his bigger cards, but here's a Disguise Creature. This could be the Sanguine Savior.
I have to imagine.
Because he's
that-
already used the Defense
Oh,
Rate Phantom
sure.
in the Ally Assailant.
I have to imagine that we're going to kick off by just drawing here. Yeah.
This is game 3.
Trigger the Loxodon.
All right, I'm going to draw a card. From Jake's side, like how scared are you? Do you think of this Disguise Creature?
It's definitely.
If you're cracking the clue, I think you're attacking.
I think so.
No
Definitely
fear.
not an enviable position though.
Sure.
Just kind of. Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah. Send with both.
Okay. Okay.
I mean,
So this
Brian's-
this reads as an airtight alibi for me then.
it could be, but I think if Brian,
I mean,
if his disguise can block the Loxodon Eavesdropper, then he's incentivized to do that anyway.
sure. I mean, he gets a free kill on the Maskmaker if Jake has nothing.
It's like
I mean, 'cause I think he's
Jake-
happy to take 4 down to 8 here,
yeah.
which is not like he's not in any real danger right away.
Yep.
But this is kind of awkward if Jake has a trick
Yeah.
and the card is a single
Well,
savior. Or
yeah.
something. Like
Still,
something
if,
small.
if I were Brian and I had nothing else to do this turn, I would be flipping this disguise over anyway. So
Yeah, of course.
if it's big enough to block the Eavesdropper, then you might as well have done that anyway.
Yeah, so this. I assume from Jake's side this has to be airtight alibi. Maybe the thought process here is if we're going to
Yeah.
save this for a future removal spell.
Okay. Looks like damage is going through, and we're
Okay.
losing the
That is
Maskmaker.
dead. It's dead. Goblin Maskmaker. With a follow up in a Sharp-Eyed Rookie.
Sharp-Eyed Rookie. Okay. Okay. So that can definitely provide.
Oh. Our flip up. I did not know get this card.
That's the
Basilica
3/4
Stalker?
flyer. Yeah.
Yeah. When it connects a
Gain 1 and surveil 1.
Gain 1 and surveil, yeah. But will this stalker be on attacking duty?
I would have to imagine so. I would guess so.
To gain the life? I mean, if
Yeah,
Brian has nothing, I don't know if I want to
It
attack
is life
here.
gain.
I don't think I want to go to 4 if I have nothing.
I don't think he has any like graveyard actions to take, right? So it is just the 2 cards in his hand.
Yeah, I would assume he has some follow play if he's going to go to combat here and get an attack in. So Jake's going to go down to 12. Brian's going to get a life, get a little surveil, try and dig closer to, I assume, his Dulcimer. Bit of land.
I mean, if this is just Dulcimer right here, then
Yeah.
that'll be close to slamming the door.
Brian's seen like at this point, I think he's seen about half a stack. Just a pass.
Pass,
Oh.
okay. All right.
Yeah,
Jake-
I wonder if
Jake
we're just
finds a
going
window
for
here.
Yeah, this could be.
If we get something like a Reckless Detective to trigger the Sharp-Eyed Rookie, crack a clue, trigger the Loxodon, get in for 7?
Yes.
That like a Felonious Rage would kill then? No, okay. We're just getting in for 5, it looks like. I was just totally making stuff up there, by the way.
No, I mean that's definitely a sequence that can happen, right? 2, 2, 2, 1, yeah.
And then just a pass from Jake. Okay.
That would have been really sick though. If that was the exact sequence he had. Another land for Brian. We're playing a. Oh, we're tapping 5. No, 3. No,
2.
2, 4. He had no play last turn, so what are we doing this turn? Another disguise.
Just a disguise off the top here, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
We have to imagine that his other card in hand is a land.
I mean, as long as Jake has nothing, he has profitable blocks here. 3, 4, and 3, 3, and 2, 2, and 2, 2. So. Looking.
Any thought to go into 5 here with an attack? Oh,
Whoa.
yeah, there it is.
Okay. Huh?
Shame. I think if that were a Sanguine Savior, I probably would have just gone ahead and flipped it up there to gain an extra 3
I guess
as well.
it isn't then.
So I guess it's not, yeah.
These attacks seem. I mean, I don't know what Brian has like 2 cards in hand. He could have. He could be totally fine, but this attack seems definitely a little risky from what we're seeing. All
It's
right.
just okay, a Pompous Gadabout.
Gonna get a counter. Gonna get a clue.
Yep.
That's
Here we
a
go.
lot of damage. A lot of potential damage.
If we crack the clue, we're probably not doing anything else this turn, but we're also giving vigilance to the eavesdropper.
That's true.
Oh, slicing. We're slicing in response here.
Okay, but it's a little bit of miscommunication there. It looks like.
So I'm guessing while Gadabout's on the stack, we're gonna
Yeah,
slice.
it looked like
the rookie.
Jake thought his rookie would hit resolve, but Brian actually was thinking he wanted to kill. The Slice from Shadows killed the rookie while the Pompous was on the stack.
Yeah.
To negate a clue, and B, a vigilance plus +1 attack from the Loxodon here.
Yep. Swing for 3 here. They say he has to block, and he does.
He does.
Complies.
So if it's a
Pass priority. Reveal.
what do we got?
Dog Walker. That's pretty huge.
Oh,
Not only trading for.
not trade.
Okay, so
not
it's
trading.
not trading.
I think
we do have more blockers now. Yeah.
I wonder if Lucas gave away a little bit because Lucas said he has to block here because they knew that they had a shock in hand, and if he didn't block, he could have 2 and die.
Yeah, interesting.
So I wonder if they gave away a little bit
I
of
don't know. I
information.
think Brian
there.
probably would have blocked anyway. That's a
probably.
good trade. So, but yeah, definitely
I think so.
not benefiting you to yell out. They have to block here,
Yeah.
giving away free info.
Yeah, I mean,
Or maybe it was a
Who knows, yeah.
maybe bluffing. You know,
maybe it could be bluff.
maybe a double bluff. You know. Definitely a tight game here, though.
Yeah.
A lot of
Like, how much-
tough decisions to be made.
How much more attacks can Brad get in with this Basilica Stalker?
The eavesdropper. Yeah. Oh wait, did the Luxon survive that? Wouldn't it have
No,
traded?
they shocked the 3-1.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I guess you're just going to go ahead and attack with the Stalker again here, right?
Land from Brian. 1 card left in hand. Weave a spell.
Last
Disguise
card in hand
creature.
is another disguise.
Flip it up. Very Snoop. Take a look.
It's another great blocker.
Maybe if there's been a land, take a card.
Surveilling. And
Both players go to 6.
evening up the life totals here, yeah.
Mhm.
Looks like Brian might have turned the corner again.
Brian has a very profitable block again. 1 for walk. So 3-3 pretty well, and these dogs get in. And, he had 1 more
A
card.
little Gorehound after the fact. You can also just chump block with a couple of dogs here. And
He could
leave more creatures
yeah,
around.
if Jake goes with both attacks and just chump blocks with a guy, 3, 4.
I think you would just block with
Yeah, Jake can't. If Jake has nothing, he can't attack with both creatures. Because then Brian can just put the fairy on the on the 3/3. Just passing the turn back. And
this
this
is-
is fantastic for Brian.
This is 4 damage in the air.
4 in the air.
You can put him to 1 here if you attack with everything.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna be a little safe
But
here.
we're just going to attack with the 1.
go to
yeah.
7% of lethal threat next turn.
Yeah, and the card selection off this Basilica Stalker
Looks like it's a
really made the
land,
difference here. And
that
it's
is
going to
match.
be 2 O'Brien. That's the
So
match.
I think that David won his match against Lucas, so that means Stonecutters are up 2-1. With Aaron winning the match against Eugene.
That would make sense after hearing the big groan when Ezra came down. Yeah.
Yeah.